Hello, Mike. How's it going, brother?
What's up, man?
What's up? What's up? Thanks for joining me on I Ask No One. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. That's it took a while, right? But
Yeah. Hey, I really appreciate it, man. It really means a lot. Nice to meet you.
yeah,
And
nice to meet you too, man. Can you see me all right? Is this all right?
perfect. Yeah, that's just
Lighting and everything's looking okay.
yes. Thank you. Thank you. Well, top of the episode, I'd like to start off with a little cheers, and I just want to say cheers to you and to the return of the touring
Yeah.
cycle.
Cheers, man. I'm drinking some water.
Nice, nice. Got some future sponsor here, Liquid Death Sparkling
Ah,
Water.
okay. I've heard of it. Never tried it though.
Oh, it's good. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Right. So, fact of the day today is July 23rd. And back in 1989, Mike, I was 1 years old, my twin brother and I. But
Yep.
this month, CDs in 1989 started to outsell vinyl for the first time.
Oh
And,
yeah. Yes.
my question to you is how do you like to enjoy your music these days? In the car? Do you have vinyl, CDs?
I mean, these days I still love vinyl. I mean, I grew up on vinyl, I'm a bit older than you, I would say. But yeah, vinyl is my favorite thing just because I love it, But I'll be honest, I listen to Spotify, today. It's just
Okay.
simple,
Yeah.
you know. People, I mean, they don't pay my band shit, but
Right.
I get back out of it. I listen to so much stuff on there, or
Yeah.
like YouTube, because I'll look up like rare, like old punk rock singles, and stuff like that. So
Right. Right.
one of those. But I don't have a turntable right now, but if I do have a lot of vinyl, I still own some vinyl. So
Okay. All right.
one day I will get a turntable and get that sorted.
We got Mike Williams here of the band The
Mike
Almighty.
Nine. Mike Nine.
Mike Nine. We got Mike Nine. Mike
Roman
Nine.
numeral 9. Yeah.
Yep. Sludge metal pioneers out of New Orleans, Louisiana.
Okay.
Killer, man, killer. So today's quote, and you're in New Orleans right now, I take it, right?
Yes, right now I'm rehearsing down here, but yeah, I'm in New Orleans for sure.
Okay. Yeah, you got the big tour coming up, and we'll get to that in a sec. But today's quote, speaking of New Orleans, when I think of New Orleans up here in Buffalo, New York, I think of a man named Andrew Brees, quarterback Saints, and
Yeah.
he just said win. One, win, two, win. In the huddle. Are you a Saints fan?
I'm a Saints fan, but I'm not really a sports fan at all.
Gotcha.
I like baseball, it's, every now and then I don't keep up with it, There was a time when I kept up with like the Red Sox and, like the Astros and things like that, but I haven't, kind of drifted from that. But the
Right.
Saints, though, like, winning the Super Bowl that year, was that 2009, I think? I'm not sure what
Something
year.
like that. Yeah.
But after what happened to us here for Katrina, that was just like an amazing thing, It uplifted the entire city and it was just a really cool thing, But yeah, every certain many seasons I'll get back into it. But he's gone, right? Drew left, right?
Yeah. Drew Brees is out. He's retired, and just a class act. One of my favorite athletes
Sure,
of
for
all time.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Definitely a class act, man.
Right.
Everything totally professional, respectful, good
Yes.
guy.
Right. I was in New Orleans once in my life, 2014. It was a bachelor party, but I could
Okay.
tell
Good place for a bachelor party.
it. I tell people that I've never been to either. I think New Orleans is crazier than Las Vegas, man. You guys are crazy as fuck out there. It's
Yeah, it's pretty wild down here. It can get that way.
yeah. But I could tell from Katrina, the dilapidated streets, all those years later, it's still affected. You see that still around, with the infrastructure there?
Oh, of course. But a lot of those streets were like that before Katrina.
Right.
There's something about the city. There's a lot of corruption going on in the local governments and things, and certain money doesn't go where it should, So like the streets all over are just screwed here, you know, and a lot of that was before Katrina. But then after Katrina, you know, a lot of it just got left. There's still abandoned buildings and, you know, lots where there's no house and, you know, blocks and blocks of that, like in certain parts of the city.
Yeah.
It's just like they don't care. Well, you know, the nickname for the city is the city that care forgot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's I don't know where that came from, but I love it. You know, it's very Eyehategod when you think about it.
It is very punk rock. Wow.
The city that care forgot. Yeah, because it's just I don't know. I need to find out the origin of that. You know.
You know, man. Born and raised here in Buffalo, New York. I've lived on both coasts. I'll take blizzards any day over, you know, hurricane and earthquake.
Oh well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Wildfires and shit like that. But
yeah.
Yeah, my so this began this we're talking now. It was born out of the quarantine, and this is just so cool that you're joining me here. My number one fan, I gotta say, shout out to my mother. This podcast is pretty much no holds barred. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but my mom's tuning in every week. And when I told her that Mike 9 is coming to join us on I Ask No One from Eyehategod, you know, my mom's just like, oh my God, you know. No pun intended there, but you know, Mortis from Emperor, and you know, I've had Kyle from The Sword, and just different cool names. But
yeah.
Last week I asked Mortis formerly of Emperor, what his relationship is like with Satan. You know, because he spent his whole career writing these really dark music. Black.
Sure. Yeah. Yep.
What is your relationship like with God?
I don't believe in God. I never did. Never. Even as a child, I could just see through it, you know, in my opinion. I just, you know, when I was a child, you know, we were like forced to go to church and I could just see all the fake gossip going on in the churches. And then everybody left the church on Sunday and went home and got wasted drunk. My dad, you know, so like it just seemed corrupt to me then, and I just never believed. I just don't believe in the whole concept of. I do believe in spirituality, though. That there's
you have a higher power.
Well, not necessarily a higher power, but there's a negative energy and positive energy in this world, you know, and they can come and go in certain forms, and you know, I mean, you can manifest certain things, and you know, I think those are true. Just, you know, like I said, energies, you know.
Right.
But and being spiritual is really just being cool to people. I mean, that's what Jesus said, right? In the Bible. If I don't really believe in the Bible, but some of it's very positive, you know, that book. But Jesus just said, be cool to each other. Don't be a dick. You know, that was basically his whole thing. So that's how people should act all the time. It's kind of a, you know, peaceful thing.
Yes. Yeah, that is true. What goes around certainly comes around. People bring up karma a lot.
Right.
I'm in real estate and I'm dealing with some asshole real estate agents, you know,
right.
You know, the lying and bullshit and ego and stuff. But hey, that's in every profession.
It is, man. The record business is full of that. I mean, it's insane. Yeah.
Yeah. Just stay true to yourself. That is the Metallica way. That is the Eyehategod way. And Cliff said, "Don't be a dick." You know, that was one of his quotes. Cliff Burton.
Just like Jesus said. Yeah.
Yeah. Just verbatim in the Bible. Don't be a dick. Oh, okay.
Right. That's the entire book. Just sums it up. You know.
Right. Exactly. Growing up in New Orleans, I just love to know what the scene was like. When I think of New Orleans, the blues, you know, I remember walking to a club and just having a big old pitcher of beer to myself. And there's a guy in a corner, you know, on the drums and singing. It was like, wow.
Right.
What was that scene like coming up with the sludge metal in the 80s and 90s, my man?
Well, first of all, you know, I hate that word sludge metal. I don't call.
I have heard that before. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, nothing against, you can say it as much as you want. I accept it now that we're part of that.
Rock and roll. Punk rock.
Yeah. I mean, we're not really a punk band per se, like people say, you know, punk is today or whatever, but it's the attitude, you know, and I mean, of course, we grew up with metal also in the 80s, you know, so.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, that's why I just say rock and roll. Or if I did have to say something, I'd say like, you know, heavy blues or something like that, you know.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
we're very much influenced by the blues, you know. I mean, down in the 80s when I was going to punk rock shows, you know, when I was, you know, 15 years old, you know, you go to a show and there's a club down the street, you know, playing blues or jazz. So it was always in the background somewhere, you know. It just kind of embedded into our brains, you know. It's
Right.
such a great, it's another kind of outsider music to me, you know, like punk or whatever, doom or whatever. It's kind of like you know, it's got that sadness to it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all a part of I Hate God's like psyche, you know.
Yeah. And again, we have the singer, Mike Nine of I Hate God here. This is just too cool. Uh,
What's up?
I'm into vocals. I'm into singers. I bash away with the Chucky little ornament here, my buddy.
Ah, I see that. You got a
Yeah,
drum set up. Yeah.
you got your little ornament. But what are some singers? I know you like the Germs and Bad Brains and those really
Yeah.
early punk rock records, just like my boy Randy Blythe. And he's got a question for you a little bit later. But
Uh,
what are some singers from back when that still influence you the most to today, or maybe some new singers that influence you?
well, like those guys, like HR from the Bad Brains or Darby Crash from the Germs, but other there's a lot. Alice Cooper. You know, I was into like Alice Cooper and Kiss before I was, you know, before punk even existed. You know, I mean, it may have existed as like with the Stooges and bands like that, you know, but yeah, so Alice Cooper, man, he just always had such a great, like raspy, you know, rough kind of voice, but he
Nightmare. Yeah.
just very original, you know, and you know that he's definitely one of my musical influences. But then there's like Paul Rogers from Free and Bad Company.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, those he's got such a great voice, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Mick Jagger. I know that's probably people probably call me an asshole for that, but the old Rolling Stones. I love old
Oh,
Stones. You
dude.
know,
Talk about blues, like heavy blues.
totally, man.
Rolling
And they
Stones,
added their own, yeah, and they added their own like sleazy, you know, like reality kind of element to it. You know,
right.
so you know that stuff. Nick Cave. You know, Nick Cave
Fuck
is
yeah.
is starting back with his first band. Well, not his first band, but the Birthday Party. It was like his second or third band, probably. But
Birthday party. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
that's some of that stuff is really dark. I mean, it's all really dark, but in a good way, you know. I like dark music, you know. I don't know. It's just
Right.
I feel at home with that type of stuff, you know.
Same here. And dark definitely has different definitions in music, whether it's the lyrics or the, you know,
Just the
that's
feeling, yeah.
the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
What the feeling it elicits is there's the genres could just elicit darkness and heaviness in different ways. Um, So I'm on the board of directors actually for the American Foundation Suicide Prevention, and
That's fantastic, man. That's great.
yeah, man, I've been directly affected by it, including one
Yeah.
of my all-time favorites rockers is Chester Bennington passed away this
Yeah.
week in 2017. So uh, when you very respectfully agreed to come on here, you mentioned that you're no stranger to that. And if you just wouldn't mind, giving a shout out to some of these friends of yours, maybe in the business or not, that you've lost to suicide.
Well, I don't want to mention names or anything, but there's been a lot. There's been a lot of people. Starting with my brother when I think I was 10 years old.
Mm,
My brother committed suicide.
mm.
So that was the first, experience I ever had with that. And I was very young, don't remember a lot, but it affected me, obviously. Um, but then, later on, just different. I was in a boys' home in the 80s when I was a kid,
Mm.
and I was there for 3 years in this home, and there's a couple kids in there that killed themselves, like good friends of mine, and it just went from there. I had a best friend that in fact, Jimmy Bauer from Eyehategod was in a band called Shell Shock that I roadied for, and the guitar player for that band committed suicide. His name was Mike Hatch. We called him Hatch Boy, so I will mention his name. But he was a great friend, you know, and it's just, there's probably hundreds, you know, of people. I mean, it's probably gets up to that many digits, you know. I mean, even just acquaintances and best friends, and
Sure.
and then there's overdoses as well, you know, that just adds up.
Yep.
So it's sad, you know, and it's I always try to, you know, if I can, through our dark music, you know, maybe spread some kind of, a lot of people write me and they relate to our lyrics and the way we sound and just the whole darkness of it, you know, and it seems like it kind of, I think it's like me listening to the Birthday Party, Nick Cave, you know, it's like you kind of relate to that darkness and it kind of gets you through a couple more days, you know, like, so I'm happy that people write me and, you know, and tell me that. It's pretty cool.
Amen. And,
Yeah.
and thank you for
Yeah.
sharing. Depression certainly has no face. And that's one thing that I've learned. I'm in my short life. I'm 33, just a little younger than you.
Yeah.
You look great. You look great there, Mike 9.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've heard of your band. Obviously, I've been into heavy music since I was 15. I'm 33 now. I was into heavy music when I was 10, 12 years old. But my late great buddy, Mike Holden. Mike Holden was a big fan of yours. And
Okay.
yeah, he passed away. He hit the age of 30 in 2018, and he took his own life. And
Yeah.
so with Mike, and he had all these CDs, all these fucking CDs, and I got my crates of CDs. I still buy my shit, so I still buy my music.
Yeah, right. That's good.
But I didn't buy your CD Dopesick because it was right there in Mike Holden's collection. I was like, oh,
Okay.
God, this sounds like this is definitely a band Mike would like. I mean, he's really into, you know, Bleach, Nirvana, and Helmet, and just kind of this kind of music. So I threw it in my car, threw Dopesick on in my car, and that the first thing that came to mind is this is fuck you music. This music,
Totally.
this music
Yeah.
is fuck you. It's kind of like when I took one of his CDs too, Lou Reed's heavy metal, what is it? Heavy metal music or heavy
Metal Machine Music.
metal machine music. Yeah. I mean,
The real experimental. Yeah.
yeah. And I really, really enjoyed listening to that. I felt like I was hanging out with Mike. So how was it recording Dopesick compared to maybe some of your other records?
Well, Dopesick was pretty insane, actually. I was living in New York. I was living in Brooklyn at the time. I had met someone and moved up there, a girlfriend, you know, and there was a lot of drugs and alcohol going on with the band around that time. So that, of course, came into the studio, you know. So it just added this, you know, entire chaotic atmosphere that, you know, it did. I mean, it was already going on, you know, wherever we were. So it just happened to be in the studio. So it was a little different because it was just crazy, you know, but we got through it, you know, we did it and put it out.
Yeah. Yeah. And there was some glass breaking in the beginning there. Was that you or what happened there? You dropped something?
Yeah. Yeah, that was me. We wanted to record just like some breaking glass, like I don't know why, you know, I don't remember much about the sessions, little pieces. But we took a garbage can and just started, like, I think there were some rocks in it. We put rocks and I started just breaking these bottles, you know, and of course glass is like going all over the studio, and I ended up like slashing my hand really bad.
Oh.
And it just kind of started dripping all over the place. And you know, we were almost done for the day as well, so we didn't know what to do. So we just kind of Joey, our drummer who passed away, you know, Joey, he started writing stuff in my blood on the floor. He wrote like Helter Skelter, you know, and some things like that, you know. I forget exact, Death to Pigs maybe or something. And
right.
And then we just left. the studio for the day. And like the owner wasn't there. It was just us and our engineer, who was Billy Anderson at the time.
Mm.
And I guess the next morning he came in and flipped out. That's what I've heard. He called our record label and
He's crazy motherfucker.
said that was like we had to get out of there. Like, we had to finish up and get the hell out of there. So yeah.
Oh boy.
That's pretty much what happened.
So after that record, was that after that you toured with White Zombie and Pantera, or was that before?
No, we had toured with White Zombie before that, just like a week or two or something like that in the South. But then after that record came out, we got the Pantera White Zombie tour, which was a 2-month tour.
That must have been a lot of fun. And I got to ask you, what's one word that you would describe Dimebag Darrell of Pantera?
Oh, man. One word? I don't know if that's possible, man. I mean, he was a genius on guitar, obviously, but he was like one of the nicest people, man. He was super nice, super funny. I mean, that's one of the loss of that is like insane, because he was such a funny guy, and very generous guy. We'd go stay at his house and he would just buy like anything for a party, just start throwing stuff in the buggy, like we just had some epic parties at his house. And I don't know, man, that's another sad one, but
right.
Yeah.
But there must have been some fun ass times in that tour. Do you have any?
A lot of memories from that. In general, having fun,
Right.
Playing CeeLo, which is a dice game with Dimebag, and him throwing down hundreds, and I'm putting down like a 5. I'm like, these dudes got money, But it was just fun, hanging out with Rex and Phil, of course, everybody, All their roadies were cool as shit, White Zombie was cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That was the last tour, if I remember correctly, right? White Zombie. Then Rob Zombie went off on his own.
I think that was the last. They may have done like a show or two after that, but I don't think they toured,
Okay.
Right.
And dude, Pantera, they were probably touring, was it Far Beyond Driven or Great Southern Trendkill around that time? But Phil, yeah.
I can't remember the name of the album, but yeah.
But Phil Anselmo, he wore an Eyehategod shirt in the I'm Broken music video, man. That must have been pretty cool to see that, right? That's a nice shout out.
Yeah, for sure, man. He always supported local bands, Any band that he liked that was local, he would wear their shirt or bring them on tour, Not even necessarily local bands. He brought Anal Cunt on tour from Boston. He brought, but from New Orleans, he brought, Soylent Green, which is a great local band that Ben from Goat Whore was the singer for that. Brian Patton from Eyehategod was in that band also. Just a great band. If you haven't heard them, you should check them out. Soylent Green.
Sure.
But he brought Neurosis out from Oakland, California. He just brought out anybody that he liked, which was cool. But the T-shirt thing, to this day, I still get people saying they heard of us from that shirt, that couldn't hurt at all. That was, a great thing.
You bring up Neurosis real quick. Half of Mastodon's from Western New York, and they're my pals. And do you like Mastodon? Do you like what they're doing?
I'll be honest, I haven't really even heard much of their stuff. I'm friends with Brent and those guys,
Yeah.
Ron. Yeah. They're all, all of them. They're all great guys,
Right.
But I've seen them live before, and they're cool. They're great, Right. They're definitely a great band. I just don't know their music very well.
Well, I'll have to email you. In fact, I'll do that. I'll email you their High Road music video. I'm in it.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the musketeer that died in there. They got the mustache and the hat and everything. And
okay, right.
But while we're on the topic, I was in Slipknot's All Out Life music video too.
Really?
That was actually the weekend Mike Holden passed. I pieced out and went circle pitting in this bloodbath and with the Slipknot music video, and it was
I'll
Killer.
have to check that out too, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brother. I'll send you a link.
Sure, man. Yeah.
So again, we have Mike 9 here of Eyehategod. If you like what you're seeing so far, hit a subscribe, like, it's just getting started here. So between 2017 and 2020, I understand you took only 3 weeks off of touring in those 3 years. What is it about touring that you love so much?
I just everything about it. I mean, it can, don't get me wrong, it can be the worst misery ever, but it's you're in a different city every day. You're learning things every day. And you're seeing different things every day, and it can get repetitive and but you have to just kind of get out of that and enjoy what's going on. I mean, it's what we wanted to do, from since the time we started a band, so it's just great. Touring's just fantastic. And we get along fairly well most of the time. So
Yeah,
sometimes we don't, but that's gonna happen.
you've been on
But
some.
it's just great, man,
Yeah.
especially like Europe or going to Japan, Japan's fucking amazing. We played Indonesia, like 5 shows in Indonesia,
How was that?
Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, Korea, we've played all those places. And
Yeah.
it's just there's so much to learn actually that you can't see it all, especially when you have to be backstage, then the hotel, then the airport. But it's just great, it's exciting.
You're sounding a lot like Randy Blythe of Lamb of God right now, because he's definitely the guy to go out and take photos and explore, even if it's just for 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes, get out there and go see it and enjoy it. But you played 5 dates in Indonesia. How the hell was that? Did you go in the jungle or at all, or how was your experience?
We saw some of it, but we didn't get to. No, we didn't have time to do anything like that,
Yeah.
But we flew over it and stuff. I mean, it was hectic because we flew every day there.
Mm.
We fly back and forth to see short like hops, But it was amazing. It was just amazing. The kids there, the shows were fucking amazing. People going insane, just like, a band from America being there, was just blew their minds, and they were huge fans, so it was great, man.
If you could describe that feeling of being in Korea and Japan and seeing these smiling faces out there that you've never met, but they're just so, passionate about your music. Could you?
That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah.
Passionate.
Yeah.
To me, it just makes me happy, like to see them singing the lyrics and things and stage diving. It's just, I mean, that's what I'm in this for that sort of happiness,
That's a true gift, Mike.
Yeah.
And Buffalo, New York. Do you have any memories of Buffalo, New York at all?
Snow.
Snow?
Yeah.
That snows.
A lot of snow. But honestly, I don't know if this is insulting or anything, but I get Albany and Buffalo mixed up.
Oh,
as far as certain clubs,
Oh, okay. All right.
There was a club called Valentine's, but I think that was in Albany.
That's got to be Albany. Okay.
Yeah. But no, I mean, we usually have been up there in the winter, so it's what can I say? Hold on one second.
Sure, man.
Trying to close the door here.
No sweat. No sweat.
But yeah, I mean, there's always good shows. We've always, it's never been a bad time or anything. We've always had a good time up there.
Well, you're going to be back here in Buffalo on November the 2nd. It may be just a little cold then. And that's
a little bit
fun tour, man. I'll be there.
Cool, man. Be nice to meet you there,
Yeah, would love
Looking forward to it.
Right back at you, brother.
Yeah, man.
So any insane fan moments that you've had? I mean, you've had stage divers. Have you ever had someone try and get on your microphone? Anything crazy that a fan has tried or has done or asked you to sign or anything like that?
I mean, there's the body part things, but
yeah,
that's kind of common probably. Yeah, I mean, people have stage dived and kicked me in the face and things like that, but that's really not that crazy. I mean,
Just part of
I
the
mean, you're
experience.
just the usual, chaos,
Sure.
I mean, that's my favorite thing to do is play in a smaller club, but they oversold it, and everybody's drunk and it's just insane. That's just the funnest thing,
Are there
so things
clubs?
happen.
Yeah. Are there clubs around America, maybe outside of New Orleans, that you just love to play? Is there one venue that stands out over the others?
Man, I mean, no, because I love them all, man. I love just playing.
Yeah.
We've played in, I think it was Louisville, Kentucky once. We showed up at the club and we were late or something. So like the sound man had left, and so we were like, what are we going to do? So we went over to someone's house and set up in their laundry room and played in their laundry room. And there was like, it was like
Get out of here.
50, 60 people there, but it was, it was fun, so that was a while back. That was a long time ago, but I
That's a
mean,
pretty
just
awesome.
that's just, fun to me.
Yeah. Impromptu, just very punk rock right there, playing in a laundry room. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
So your buddy Randy had one question for you, and I'm gonna quote him here. He says, "Just ask him when is he gonna get off his ass and write his memoir?"
I knew that was going to be the question.
Did
Um,
you?
well, we've been texting back and forth about that. I've just been, all over the place in my life. So trying to get my shit together, and just start writing this stuff down. Also, too, I didn't want to start. I guess I could have, but I didn't want to start it too early because my life is still going on. But I guess I could start parts of it, and get it together. But I think I mean, if enough people want to read that, I'll do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's some crazy stuff in my life. I mean, I guess it would be interesting to other people.
You have quite a story to share, that's for sure. I'm sure of it. And did you have a chance to read his Dark Days memoir from his time in prison?
No, I have not read it because I'm trying to get a free copy from him. But
Oh,
so
Randy.
far I don't have one. But
Uh,
but no, I'll buy it one day, or unless he does have a free copy, a used copy. But
Randy, yeah.
I'm a cheapskate, man. But yeah, man, I do want to check it out, man. There's so many books, that I've got books like lined up that I need to get to next, like mostly bios, from certain bands, or certain bands that I like. I'll even read bios from bands I don't really like because their music bios are just fantastic, if they're original. And
Very fun to read. Yeah, the Heroin Diaries was good, and
read that one, yeah. I read that one.
Of Rat. What are some bios that are on tap for you, Mike?
Shit, I don't have them in this room, but I don't know, like some New York Dolls stuff, or like some Stooges stuff.
Yeah.
Wayne Kramer from the MC5. I've got his book, but I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
I guess the last ones I read were HR's book, Bad Brains, Keith Morris, Circle Jerks, stuff like that, But I don't know. There's so many, man. I'm reading. Oh, right now I'm reading Jeffrey Lee Pierce from the Gun Club, a band called the Gun Club.
Oh, okay.
Done that. So,
huh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Gun Club. What's one song by Gun Club I got to check out? I've never heard of them.
For the Love of Ivy. That's a good song. For the Love of Ivy. She's Like Heroin to Me. That's another good song.
Will do. I'll include a link below to some of those tracks. Speaking of Randy, hey, by the way, what's up, Randy? Looking forward to seeing you on the road soon too. Fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. Randy filled in for you in 2016 on the microphone for Eyehategod.
Sure, yeah.
Now, how did that come about? You had to take some time away for was your liver, right?
Yeah. I had a liver transplant, but during that time, I could. It was we were touring with one of my favorite bands ever, who were Discharge,
Oh,
Yeah, so that was really a bummer to not be able to do that. But I wanted the band to do it. I didn't want them to not do it. So it was a matter of like, who would we get to do that? We talked about it in the band, and Randy was a great choice, and he agreed. He said yes. He sang for us back in the 90s when, like 94, he sang for us at a little club. I mean, just like got up and did like one song, probably a couple times though.
Damn.
There's a little club called Twisters in Richmond, Virginia.
Huh.
And he would get up and we would just, like give the mic to someone. But Randy was, our friend back then. We've been knowing him a long time, so we were knowing each other, We used to hang out in Richmond because our brother band Buzz Oven was there, so. So yeah, man. But having him sing for that tour was great because, I wanted them to do the Discharge tour. They wanted to do it, of course, So
Yep.
it was cool. It was it was good to have a friend sing, for us,
Yeah, I remember when that was going down and he accepted the offer to do something like that. He was really, talk about passionate. He was really stoked about that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very, very awesome. And
Yeah, man.
how do you like his style on stage, his singing style? Do you like going to Lamb of God shows? You like the energy?
I don't think I've seen them live, to be honest.
Really? Get out of
No,
here. Oh,
I haven't seen them. Sorry, Randy. But I will see them sometime. They should bring us on tour.
yeah.
Then we can see each other.
Imagine that. Boom.
Yeah, man.
Well, this is the last question I have for you, man. It's just
Okay, man. Gotcha.
Now, I saw you recently went skydiving. Are there other hobbies of yours that maybe I Hate God fans don't know that you're into? I mean, how the fuck was skydiving, dude? Was that your first time?
Yeah, that was my first time. I've been wanting to do it since, I was a kid. So it was just a perfect opportunity. I had just, someone said, "Do you want to go?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And then 2 days later I went, So I can't wait to go again, to be honest, I can't wait to go again. So yeah, it's amazing, man. That's something like that's amazing. But as far as other hobbies, I don't know, man. I like to read, man. I like to read. I like to learn things, I like to travel. Traveling's a hobby, even though it's also my job,
Yeah.
So stuff like that, man. I don't, I do art as well, but I don't have anywhere to do it right now. But I need to set up an art space where I can do some art. I did the old album covers for Eyehategod. So yeah.
Yeah. What kind of art? Are we talking like crayons or colored pencils or
Watercolors? No, just like the cover stuff for whatever my style is. Multimedia, whatever. Spray paint, cut and paste. I don't know.
Right.
Could be anything. I mean, I like to experiment with art. And do different things.
Oh, real quick, while we're on books, are there any books that you've read that you just can't stop repeating? I mean, what are some of your favorite books you've ever read or authors?
Well, Charles Bukowski. He's one of my favorite writers, just because he's Charles Bukowski. But a lot of people say that now, I think.
Never heard of him. I'm sorry, never heard.
You never heard of? Okay, you should check him out. I mean,
Okay.
but I don't know. I mean, I like old stuff like Clockwork Orange. It's probably one of my favorite books ever. I could read that just over and over. The Shining. I don't know, stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
The book's better than the movie, of course.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Well, man, it's just an honor again. I Hate God. We got Mike 9 here. They released back this past March 2021, A History of Nomadic Behavior. It's their latest record, which they're finally going to be touring on this fall.
Finally, yes.
Yeah, the 30th anniversary of GWAR. You talk about Richmond, Virginia. GWAR's 30th anniversary of their Scum Dogs record. And they're taking out these guys, Napalm.
Yes. Good friends of ours. We toured with them in Europe. Amazing guys, fun. It's going to be a great tour.
It's got to be so cool to hit the road with your friends, isn't it?
It's amazing. It's the best, man. We try to always go out with our friends if possible, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, I don't think we've done a tour that we didn't go out with our friends. You know, we always try to go out with someone that, or we'll bring bands. Like we went out with Negative Approach and Sheer Terror. And those are friends of ours, bands that we like, that we're fans of, you know.
Yeah.
It's cool to bring and just watch them every night, you know. It's pretty cool.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Town Ballroom, Buffalo, New York, downtown Buffalo will be there November the 2nd.
Thank you, man.
Buffalo. Yeah, man. And, you know, at the beginning of this, you were talking about what's in the Bible, you know, be cool or be nice. And I will say that you're one of the coolest chats I've ever had on my show. And thank you very much.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. You too, man. You're awesome. You're cool.
Well, all the
down to earth. Yeah, that's what I'm.
Man, life is short, right?
That's what I always say, man.
Life is short.
Once, you know, you got to do what you got to do.
That's right. Well, stay happy, stay healthy, stay hungry, stay heavy. Have a good night, brother.
Thanks, man. Take care.
Later.
Later.